Well, along with the important governor's race, there were two public questions on the ballot. The first, expanding on sports betting to include college sports, and that was voted down. The second was allowing groups to raise money from raffles or bingo, and that got a yes from voters. So what impact will this have on our state? For more on that, let's go to News 12 New Jersey's Naomi Yane.
Before yesterday's election, only organizations for veterans and senior citizens could use proceeds from games of chance like raffles or bingo like we've got going on here in Bridgewater. They could use those proceeds to support their operations. But what exactly does that yes vote mean for some of these organizations? The Somerville Elks Lodge in Bridgewater makes most of its money by renting their venue. And when they have bingo night like they do tonight, 100% of the proceeds normally go to a charitable organization.
Well, the Elks Take has always been and will always be about charity. We want to give to all our charities, so we will continue to ask our lodges to vote to give the money to charities.
In our state, certain groups are allowed to host games of chance. Those groups include veterans, charitable, educational, religious, fraternal, civic, senior citizens groups, volunteer fire companies, and first aid or rescue squads. The proceeds from those games can only be used for educational, charitable, patriotic, religious, or public-spirited uses. Yesterday's public question was to amend that law to include all organizations that are permitted to host games of chance. With the Elks specifically, during the pandemic, many of the lodges took financial hits. Yesterday's vote could be a means for some of the lodges to help support their operations.
Until we hear from our government to tell us what we can and can't do, then they would bring it over the floor if they voted, if they needed to repairs, use it for capital improvements to their lodges. Because it's going to be legal, then they can.
Lynn Santos has been running bingo night through the Somerville Elks Lodge since 2011. And before yesterday's tally came in, 100% of the proceeds went to charity. What this now means for this bingo night is that part of the proceeds will have to go to the lodge.
It'll affect us by having to share the money, so we won't be able to have as much because we'll now have to give money for repairs or whatever else they need. Before this, the money would just go to charity.
And 64% of New Jerseyans voted yes to that amendment for nonprofit gaming. In Bridgewater, Naomi Yane, News 12 New Jersey.